All right, Corey. Feels like it's been a while since we've been live in the top of the ninth when the Reds are at home, but here we are. Reds lead 6-2. Emilio Pagan in to nail it down for the Reds.
Come on, Emilio. Let's shut it down. Let's not have a disappointing ninth inning like we had last night. So let's finish this off and get out of here with a win that we absolutely needed and got it tonight. So, well, getting it tonight. I don't want to count my chickens, I guess.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah, no doubt.
First pitch in there for a strike. Mets have Cedric Mullins, and then the top of their order due up as Mullins swings through for strike number 2.
How was your Saturday, brother?
It was good, man. Busy. I mean, not really busy, but like it felt busy. Took my daughter, went to play putt-putt for a little while at like an indoor arcade because it was kind of chilly here. And yeah, it was good. You?
Good. Yeah, not bad at all. Got a volleyball win this morning. Had to go on the road and then spent the day with the daughter at the mall and watched the Buckeyes take care of business and watched the OU take care of their business against West Virginia. So not a bad Saturday at all, man.
Yeah, I saw that. Bobcats bringing home the dub as Pagan sits down Mullins swinging strike 3.
All right, let's go. Two more.
All right, that'll bring Lindor, who his last at-bat ended a streak of 10 straight at-bats that he reached base. He had reached base in all 8 of his at-bats against the Reds this series so far as he looks at ball 1 outside. And this one's driven to right field down the line. That'll be extra bases for the Mets shortstop as he glides into second base with a stand-up double.
We cannot keep that guy off base. Every time he comes to the plate, he ends up on.
Yeah, he has our number right now. Or maybe we don't have his number. I don't know. But it's definitely interesting to see somebody as hot as he is right now. One away is the daunted Juan Sola. Wow. Let's try this one again. First pitch to Soto is chipped into center field. Friedl will cut it off. Lindor will strut into third base. Soto in there with a single of his own. And Pagan making this one interesting. The nice part about this is that you have a 4-run lead, so you'd like to think that if things do go wayward, that you got time to get somebody up before you officially lose a lead. But it would also be nice if Emilio Pagan could just shut this down. I'll bring up Brandon Nimmo. He's 0 for 2. Sac fly, RBI in the third, walk in the first. Ball 1 is down.
Oh, come on, Pagan. Same old feelings just popping back up again.
Nope, we're not going to let that happen.
Come on.
Not going to let it happen, Corey. That one is fouled off of Trevino, and he is shaking his hand.
Ouch.
Ball on the outside part of the plate. I don't know that obviously seemed like it hurt, but that's not really where you typically see balls hurt a catcher, where it hits off the kind of the heel of the glove like that.
Yeah, it must have caught him funny.
Yeah. Jammed the wrist or something. But 1-1 now to Brandon Nimmo, 2 on. Tying run in the on-deck circle for the Mets.
Come on, Emilio.
The 1-1 in the dirt, gets away from Trevino. Run will score. Soto will advance to second, and it's 6-3.
Runner on third, and we've got the dreaded one knee position in the back, and there it goes again. I'll never understand not being in a crouch with runners in scoring position. That just blows my mind.
The 2-1 in there for a strike. Fastball bottom outside corner to the left-handed Nimmo to even the count at 2-2. This one fouled away by Nimmo. Keep it even. Around the league, the Phillies beat the Marlins 4-2. Brewers beat the Pirates 4-1. The Diamondbacks are ahead 3-1 in the top of the fourth over the Red Sox. Padres early lead over the Rockies 6-2 in the fourth. Giants ahead 2-0 on the Cardinals. That's in the middle of the seventh. The Braves and Mariners tied after 6-2 apiece. Yoshinobu Yamamoto with a no-hitter through 6 innings for the Dodgers on the Orioles. Dodgers lead 2-0 as Nimmo swings and misses for out number 2.
Yes. I read in the chat somebody's in the ball game. Get on your feet. Get loud. Let's go. We need this last out.
Make some noise. Make noise.
I love it. Come on, Emilio. Oh, 1 painted on the outside corner. 0-2. Come on. Get this last one. Let's go.
The 0-2 from Pagan. Alonso swings, fouls it away, fastball. The pitch.
Oh, I thought he missed it. Oh.
Fouled away again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sword for Pagan to get Alonso swinging. Strikes out the side. Reds win 6-3. What do you say we do a show, my friend?
Let's do it.
Johnny Bench has tied it up. The Cincinnati Reds win the World Series in 4 straight. It was a sweep.
In the dirt, it's a wild pitch. Here comes Foster. The Reds win the pennant.
Hawkins won the game.
That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none.
Welcome, Joe Randa to Cincinnati. Adam Dunn has done it again.
Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Marty, yes. This is Adam from Milwaukee. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you think Scott Henneberg's a good player?
Dunn up there with the bases loaded, the outfield deep and around toward right, and the 1-0 on the way to the plate. Swung on, long drive, right field, and this one belongs to the Reds.
And a high drive. Hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club.
Benson scores.
De La Cruz is, oh my goodness, look at this kid run. My, oh my, that is a triple.
Matt McLean's first big league bomb.
Spencer Steer's first big league hit is a home run to straightaway center field. Joey Votto's done it again.
The pitch. Votto swings high in the air. Right field. Yes! He pointed to the dugout to say, I told you. That is Joey Votto's 315th career go-ahead ribby. Only Johnny Bench had more as a Red.
And I can't tell you how much it means to play in front of everyone here in Cincinnati as a Red. What a gift. What a tremendous gift. So thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the wall, Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Reds win! Win! Line to the right field. Genius, the first Red ever. With 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Are you kidding me? Holy moly, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
Well, Corey, it might be too little too late, but the Reds still have a little bit of fight in them. They win tonight 6-3 over the visiting New York Mets. Brady Singer shoved Sal Stewart with his first career home run. We'll talk about all that and more. Initial thoughts on the Reds win tonight, Corey?
Needed it. I mean, we absolutely had to have it. We couldn't take another loss coming off the disappointing 9th inning last night. So when we absolutely needed it, Brady Singer came through, and the offense stayed hot. I mean, the offense has been scoring runs left and right here. The pitching has been a little bit of a struggle, but got an outing out of Brady Singer that we needed to have. Offense stayed hot. Sal Stewart was a spark. So go Reds.
Go Reds indeed. Let's talk about how we got there. I think that's an appropriate next step for us. We'll do a little box score recap. As always, brought to you by our friend Nicholas P. Kirby. Reds falling further and further from the playoff picture, sitting 6 games behind the Mets. Turned to Brady Singer to right the ship. He would face Mets rookie Jonah Tong, making just his second start of his MLB career. Reds got on the board first when Spencer Steer walked, and then Sal Stewart socked his first career home run to dead center field to give the Reds a 2-0 lead. The Mets got a run back in the top of the third as Brady Singer struggled to find the strike zone, walking 2 and hitting another. A sac fly from Brandon Nimmo scored Cedric Mullins. Matt McLean continued his hot September, extending his hitting streak to 9 with a solo home run to lead off the bottom of the third, extending the lead back to 2 runs at 3-1. The Reds got another leadoff home run in the fourth. This time it was Austin Hayes that took Jonah Tong deep to left field. Brady Singer didn't necessarily have his best stuff on the night, but he gave the Reds yet another quality start. He got Brett Beatty swinging to close the 6th. His final line, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Singer's season-long ERA dipped below 4 for the first time since May. Over his last 6 starts, a 1.80 ERA, hasn't allowed more than 4 runs in a game since July 21st. He gave way to Scott Barlow, who proceeded to give a leadoff home run to pinch hitter Jared Young, who In the seventh, Ryan Stanek came in for the Mets in the seventh, allowing a leadoff single to Spencer Steer. After a hard-hit fly ball from Stewart, Stanek allowed back-to-back-to-back singles to Jose Trevino, Matt McLean, and TJ Friedl, followed by an Elly De La Cruz walk, and the Reds led 6-2 after 7. Emilio Pagan pitched the ninth, allowing a double to Francisco Lindor and a single to Juan Soto before a wild pitch allowed Lindor to score. Pagan would strand Soto at second, striking out the side. Reds win 6-3, and yet again, they are 5 games back of the Mets in the wild card. And yes, indeed, we did have a deep drive of the game, and what a majestic deep drive it was, Corey. Came in the bottom of the second inning, giving the Reds a 2-0 lead, and it was none other than Sal Stewart's first career home run, dead center field. Spencer Steer also scored on the play and improved Cincinnati's win probability to 72.8%. That ball was hit 107.1 miles per hour at 32 degrees, added up to a distance of 412 feet. Stewart absolutely elated as he rounded the bases as he should be. And Corey, let's start right there with Sal Stewart. Obviously, back-to-back games off, at least from the starting lineup for Sal Stewart. Called on it last night for him to be in the lineup basically every game from here on out for the Reds. I mean, got to feel good for a kid to be able to come in and get his first career home run like that. His family in the stands. Just electric all around.
Absolutely. It lit up our ball club, it lit up the ballpark. You saw the family and the crowd going crazy. I always love it when the family's there for first. They were there for the first game and the big interview and all that, and being there for the first home run. You got to love it, man. It's the spark that we needed from the kid. And if you were listening to the broadcast, Sadek definitely thought he was getting himself a second one when it came off the bat. Yeah, he crushed that one to the warning track, and Sadek thought he put it in the seats, and he had me all excited. But another hard hit ball, obviously. So good to see from Sal Stewart, playing well with the glove even on defense. So obviously no complaints here, and he's the spark that the Reds have absolutely needed, especially with a couple other guys slumping in the lineup. So it's good to see Sal. It's good to see Sal come up and do exactly what we expected Sal to do.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't need to preach to the choir here, but you look at the Reds' first 6 innings tonight, they get only 3 hits off of the youngster Jonah Tong. The difference is, Corey, that all 3 of them were home runs. And so for a team who preaches getting base hits and preaches hitting the ball on the ground, I think this is a pretty fine showing of why that philosophy just doesn't work. As they interview Sal Stewart now on the post-game show, I'm sure Chatterbox Sports on social media will have full coverage of this interview on social media later on. Be sure to check it out for that. But look, at the end of the day, we've been saying it all year long. We've been saying it for years that this Reds team in Great American Small Park are best built when you have power hitters. Sal Stewart obviously is a great start, and I don't want to diminish that. But, you know, you look at what happens when this team hits home runs and they put runs on the board, and they win ball games. And when they don't hit home runs, they don't win ball games. And so at some point, I questioned it last night, but at some point, Nick Krall, this front office, they have to give in and just acknowledge the fact that home runs win baseball games in today's Major League Baseball. I don't know if that actually will happen. I doubt it will, but you know, you got to hope that between guys like Will Benson, Sal Stewart, Rhys Hines, that maybe they have enough power in this organization as it is that, you know, over the next year or so, maybe we'll start to see that come to fruition. But it was nice to see tonight, and certainly felt good in the first 4 innings to get 4 runs on the board, including 3 home runs.
Yeah, absolutely. A game like tonight, the proof is in the pudding. Like you say, when you only have 3 hits, but you've got 3 runs on the board, it feels a lot better. Plus, on the flip side, when your pitching staff isn't giving up the long ball, and when we hold them to the 1 solo home run tonight. So when you limit your damage, giving up only the solo home run with nobody on base, plus your pitchers limiting the home runs, not giving them up batter after batter like they did in the Blue Jays series, that helps. So you're exactly right, though. We got to have that little bit of power. in the little bit of power. We need a lot of power in our lineup, but we do need that power stroke, especially in our ballpark when you're playing 81 games at home. You know what I mean? You've got to have that little bit of sauce, and the proof's in the pudding tonight. When you only get 6 hits and still score 6 runs, that's pretty obvious from where I'm standing.
Yeah, absolutely. 6 hits. I mentioned the first 6 innings, you had 3 hits, 3 home runs. Obviously, there in the 7th, you got 3 extra hits to kind of balloon that number up a little bit. But, this was shaping up to be one of those nights that was frustrating that, quite frankly, if you didn't get what you got in the 7th from Joe Stanek giving you free bases, that, this might be a different story because the Mets did come back and end up scoring 3 runs. And who knows what happens if this game is tied at 3-3 after 9 innings, because I don't know that I have a whole lot of faith in this team to be able to win in extras, unfortunately. So ultimately, those home runs proved to be the difference, and ultimately the Reds take home the victory. I do obviously have to point out, they scored the 2 runs in the 7th, but they left the bases loaded, Corey. Something that we've been talking about for a while, bases loaded with only 1 out, and they only get 1 run across the board, end up with 2 in the inning, but not necessarily with bases loaded. So, still work to do without a doubt, but good to get back in the win column, especially against a good team. And got to be happy, at least from the offensive side of the ball. Any other thoughts on the offensive side from you?
No, I kind of noticed the same thing with the bases loaded. It just seems like we're almost pressing a little bit, especially with your 2 and your 3 hitter coming up right there. You've almost got to find a way to at least drive a ball in the outfield. So it would be nice to see those guys get going a little bit, especially with the spark at the back end of the lineup from Sal Stewart and those guys. But you start getting those guys going, it's going to be hard to beat. We just got to get our pitching staff to go with it. We've been scoring the runs here lately, so we can get the pitching staff to go with it. We can get ourselves on a little bit of a run here. What other choice do we have? It is the last grasp of straws here, so we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, got to shout out Matt McLain as well. Extended his hitting streak to 9. His 14th home run of the year in the 3rd inning, a solo shot, 101.4 miles per hour off the bat, 390 feet out to right center. I mean, I talked about this last night with Mike, but how much of a pass can we give Matt McLain for the first several months of this season because of the injury that he was coming off of, and how much of it was just him finding his way again? And are we at a point where we're done questioning whether or not he's going to regress again, or is there still concern in the back of your mind that, hey, even though he's on a nice little streak right now, he's teased us before with some hot streaks? Are you past that? Are you confident now that maybe we're past that with Matt McLain, or you still got a little bit of concern in the back of your brain?
I mean, the optimism in me wants to jump on board and ride the Matt McLain train. But even last night, he had that bat with the bases loaded, and I'm screaming at the TV, it's going to be a low breaking ball outside, off the plate and out of the zone, and he just cannot help himself, and it had a check swing strikeout last night. So I'm not completely past it till I stop seeing some of the bad at bats with the breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, because everybody and their brother knows it's coming, and he just seems to struggle with it. But until we start to fasten that up a little bit, but I mean, it's hard you can't complain about the way he's been playing. He's put the ball in play a lot more, and he's obviously always been consistent with the glove. So I'm getting there slowly but surely, but I'm not all the way there yet. I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
And then Spencer Steer with a nice night tonight. Obviously, some frustration with him being in the lineup over Sal Stewart the last couple of nights, but on base 3 times tonight, scored twice, 2 walks and a single. I mean, at the end of the day, I still don't believe that he's your everyday first baseman long term, but hard to keep him out of the lineup still, no?
Yeah, I mean, how do you argue with that? He is still providing serviceable enough to be in the lineup every day. You've got to find a place for his bat. So especially in this lineup, we need it.
Well, I mean, hard to make an argument. The argument is that Sal Stewart is on your team and that he should be playing every day. And
every day,
quite frankly, he played third base tonight, but Ke'Bryan Hayes has that position locked up, and I don't think he's going to be taking a whole lot of nights off. So he's got to play somewhere. And the question is, does he DH? Does he play first? maybe a little bit of second if McLean needs a night off. But, you know, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, someone's got to be the odd man out. And just at least personally, I don't think that you can afford to sit Sal Stewart if he's going to be up on your major league roster. So I don't know. You know, Frenny Benavidez and Tito have their work cut out to figure out exactly what that rotation looks like. But, you know, I'd like to think that when Gavin Lux is in left field that, you know, maybe Sal Stewart is DHing that night instead of Austin Hayes. But I guess we'll see how they play that out. Any other final thoughts offensively from you tonight?
No, just like to see. I mean, it's good to see it going. So as long as we can get the pitching staff to go with it, it's going to be fun. Going to be fun to watch. But it's the matter of consistency. It's never been there for us. It's always been kind of up and down. So hopefully we can get on a roll here. But keep the offense rolling and go from there.
Yeah. I guess I will point out. Well, maybe not. Never mind. I'll ignore that. Noelvi Marte with a tough night tonight, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He was 0 for 4 last night as well with 2 strikeouts. Now in 5 games in September, he struck out 10 times. So something I'm monitoring. He also has 5 hits. So I'm not overly concerned, I guess, but just something to keep an eye on and certainly want to make sure that he continues to progress. So all right, we do have a number of supers, so let's get to those real quick. Our guy Michael Rolfe with a 50 bomb to start us off.
Bomb.
And we are back like we never left. Is there a chance? Yes, but we would have a much better chance if Elly swung at every ball the rest of the season like Griffey did. ATOBTTR. Elly put the ball in play 3 times tonight and walked in his 4th at bat, you know, but he was 0 for 3. So take it for what you want, I guess.
No doubt. Hard for me to use the B word and say we're back, but is there a chance? So you're telling me there's a chance. We've got 4 games against teams we're chasing. So I guess we're still in there, but what's that?
I ended last night's show with an RIP. I don't have any faith that this team can come back, but time will tell, and I would love to be proven wrong. Rolf follows it up with a $5 super chat. Can we rename this particular show Corey T and the Hammer? Asking for a friend. Thanks.
I say yes. After we just brought the hammer down on my optimism, we're definitely changing to Corey T and the Hammer.
Approved.
Right.
$5 super chat from Nick West. Can we shout out Paul Yanish? I hope he's well. Well, we can shout out Paul Yanish. Shout out to Paul Yanish. I saw someone asking in the chat, what's up with Paul Yanish nowadays? Well, he's your director of player development for the Chicago White Sox. So I'm sure he's loving life there on the South Side with the White Sox and how things are going out there. But yeah, shout out to Paul Yanish, I guess. Hope everything's going well for you, brother. And then Nick West with a little $10 super chat, no message, just wanting to support the show, I suppose. So appreciate you, Nick West.
Absolutely.
All right, Brady Singer, man. First of all, 6 innings tonight, 4 hits, 1 earned run. I think they said on the broadcast 14 quality starts for Singer now on the year, leading the team. I mean, maybe not his best night, walked 4 guys, but continues to battle, continues to get out of tough situations. Had a couple of different situations where could have gone wayward that he worked his way out of. And, you got to tip your cap to the young man and be happy that he's been able to perform like he has. Mentioned it in the box score recap. His last 6 starts, 1.80 ERA, hasn't allowed more than 4 runs in a game since July 21st. Maybe the most consistent pitcher on the Reds staff right now.
Absolutely. I mean, I would almost say the most consistent pitcher we've had all season. I mean, you know what you're pretty much getting night in and night out. Sometimes it's a little prettier than others. It's never stuff that's going to blow you away. But I enjoyed him showing a little bit of emotion tonight, getting that last out in the sixth, coming off, pounding the fist and all that. So
yeah,
got me a little pumped up. It was nice to see Brady Singer come out like that, and he's been everything we've absolutely asked for and needed. And as far as the trade is concerned, the Cincinnati Reds absolutely won that trade. So hats off to Brady Singer, and you got to tip your cap to him. It's another great performance tonight.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Jonathan India has struggled this year without a doubt. Who knows what he would have done on the Reds team versus on the Royals. But in terms of hindsight, as of right now, there's no doubt that the Reds won that trade and have to be very happy with what they got with Brady Singer, who is again under contract for another year after this. So hopefully you can continue to get that. Look, the bullpen last night was nails. Tonight, not so much. Scott Barlow gives up the leadoff home run in the seventh. Tony Santillan makes things interesting in the eighth, but avoids any damage. Emilio Pagan obviously gives up a run in the ninth. We talk about consistency with Brady Singer. It feels like this bullpen's like the complete opposite at this point, Corey.
Yeah, there's not a single arm out of there I feel great about right now, to be honest with you. I mean, with the overusage of Pagan and Santillan, Graham Ashcraft being hurt, I mean, there's just not an arm out of there I really feel fantastic about when he comes out. So it's one place we are going to have to shore up if we are going to be a consistent team and make a serious run on the back end of some of these seasons. But it's definitely been a little bit of a circus. You're holding your breath every time. I mean, they almost brought the tying run to the plate again tonight in the ninth, and the old feelings start to creep back up. So I'm not sure exactly what the answer is. I would love to have a power lefty out of the bullpen. The fact that we don't have a power lefty is a glaring hole. But it's been a circus, kind of been up and down, just like the Reds season, to be honest.
I mean, you don't have a power lefty. You only have one lefty, period, and it's Brent Suter. I mean,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody feels great about the lack of left-handed bullpen talent right now for the Reds, but nonetheless, they battle. And, as of right now, sit 5 games behind the New York Mets, 1.5 behind the Giants. And then obviously the Diamondbacks are playing right now as well. So we'll see how everything shakes out over the course of the evening. For those interested in the NL scoreboard, bottom of the 8th now in Baltimore, Dodgers ahead 3-0. Yamamoto still with a no-hitter going in that one. So we'll be keeping our eye on that one. 2 outs there in the bottom of the 8th. The Braves are trailing the Mariners now. Mariners score 4 in the 7th or 8th. 6-2 now. Mariners lead. Giants are ahead 2-0 on the Cardinals. Cardinals currently sit half a game back of the Reds. A loss would drop them a full game back. Padres, I mean, a team that we thought we were chasing at the deadline are absolutely running away with things. 8-2 lead currently for them over the Rockies in the 5th. Diamondbacks 4-1 lead in the 6th. Nationals beat the Cubs tonight 2-1. That one in Chicago. Phillies beat the Marlins 4-2. Brewers beat the Pirates 4-1. Yamamoto facing Dylan Beavers. They're in the bottom of the 8th. I guess we'll come back to that in a little bit. But any final thoughts on tonight's game before we look ahead and take a look at the minor league scoreboard?
No, the only other thing I wanted to say about tonight's game was hats off to Marty Brennaman. What an absolute honor was, and with the statue being unveiled tonight, some of my best childhood memories are when the Reds weren't on TV on Sundays. When I was growing up, we would sit around and listen to Marty and Joe and call baseball games and listen to the game with my dad. And it was some of my best childhood memories, man. So as the voice of Marty Brennaman goes Reds baseball, man, and kudos to him. He's been around for 100 years, and it's absolutely a pleasure to have listened to him over the years. So just wanted to give him his flowers and say thanks to Marty for everything over the years. He has been a consummate professional and been a big part of my life. So thanks to you, Marty.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a friend of Chatterbox Sports for sure, has been on the channel multiple times and well deserved. I mean, Similar to you. I mean, I remember growing up and, either coming back from my own baseball games or whatever it may have been. And, you hear Marty on the radio, and he was kind of a staple in the household. And so I know a lot of people preferred to turn off the TV at times and listen to Marty instead. And definitely well-deserved. Already in the Reds Hall of Fame. Now he's permanently enshrined on the outside of the stadium as well. And cool to see him get interviewed there during the game as well. Seemed to get a little bit emotional, which was good to see that this town still means so much to him at this point in his life. So shout out to Marty. Congratulations. And, as someone who was shaped listening to you, appreciate you for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see. MILB. Still some action going on in Chattanooga, so we'll see if that one wraps up before we wrap up this. But we'll start in Louisville. They host the St. Paul. They end up with a victory 4-3. The Bats do. Blake Dunn 1 for 5 with a run scored in this one. Hector Rodriguez 1 for 3. Ryan Valade with a pinch hit double. Later scored. Francisco Arbaez 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Reese Hines 0 for 3 in this one. CES 0 for 3 in this one. Connor Joe 2 for 4. Davis Wenzel 1 for 3. Adam Plutko, really the story of this one though. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts, no walks. Plutko has really been a staple now for this Reds team, it feels like, and 8-7 on the season for the Bats, 4.25 ERA, but certainly has seemingly been giving them a lot here of late. His last 3 outings combined 20 innings pitched, only 1 run over those 20 innings. So certainly someone to keep your eye on, and who knows, maybe as the season shapes up, maybe somebody we see early next year competing for a spot. TJ Antone also pitched in this one. He struggled a little bit over his last couple starts at AA and now at AAA as well. 1 inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. And then Sam Ben Schroeder, 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run, struck out 2 to give up a home run, though. That's kind of been his Achilles heel this year, but Bats win 4-3. Chattanooga, they're in the bottom of the 9th currently. Thought maybe they'd wrap up before we got to this point, but the Birmingham baseball team score 3 in the top of the 9th. They now lead 6-2 over Chattanooga. Chattanooga only 5 hits on the day. Edwin Arroyo is 0 for 4. Cam Collier was 0 for 4. Ruben Ibarra 1 for 3 with a home run. Leo Balcazar was 1 for 2. Ethan O'Donnell 0 for 3. Jay Allen 1 for 3. Connor Burns, the catcher down there at Chattanooga, 1 for 3. He hit a home run. Surprise, give you a little peek. Catcher's hitting a home run. Something you're going to hear about again here in MILB. Austin Callahan was 1 for 3 with a double. That one now still in the bottom of the 9th. In Dayton, mentioned that their 14 or 15 game winning streak came to an end, but they have won back-to-back games now again. They won 7-1 tonight over the Lansing Lugnuts. For the Dragons, Carlos Jorge 2 for 3 with a double. Peyton Stovall was 0 for 3 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. John Michael Fail 2 for 5. He played first base tonight, had a double. Carlos Sanchez 2 for 3. He hit a home run, or I'm sorry, a triple and a home run. So shout out to Carlos Sanchez. Gerlin Confidant 1 for 4. Anthony Vargas 2 for 4 with a triple. And then on the pitching side, Luke Hayden went 5 1/3, 3 hits, no runs, did walk 4 and struck out 2. Forgot to mention on the bat side, Easton Sikorsky 2 innings, or I'm sorry, not the Bats, the Chattanooga Lookouts. Easton Sikorsky 2 innings of 1-hit baseball, no runs in that one. And then down at Daytona, Paul Palm Beach scores 3 in the 5th to win this one 3-2. Daytona got their first run of the game in the first inning. That was a home run by Alfredo Duno, 101.1 off the bat. Unfortunately, no StatCast down there, so I don't know how they got that, especially since I don't have a distance on it. But it was Duno's 18th home run of the season. He finishes the night 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Kyle Henley was 1 for 4. Jacob Friend 1 for 4. Bernard Moon 0 for 3. Mason Neville was 1 for 3 with a double. Alcantara 1 for 2 with a home run, his 6th of the year. Ichiro Kano 0 for 3, and Kian Vu came in as a pinch hitter, was 0 for 1. Nothing really of note to talk about on the pitching side there. And it just went final in Chattanooga. The Lookouts do fall 6-2 to Birmingham. That is your Reds MILB. And now we take a look ahead to Sunday. And the Reds and Cardinals playing at the exact time, I'm sure, or I'm sorry, not the Cardinals, the Reds and Mets playing at the exact time I'm sure you want them to play at. It's a 1:40 first pitch. Don't mind the football season. We're just going to go ahead and start at 1:40 anyway. Hunter Green taking the mound, only his 15th start of the year, but he's 5-4 with a 2.70 ERA. Since coming back from the injured list in August, he's 1-1 in 4 starts. He's got a 2.66 ERA in those 4 games with 28 strikeouts in 23 innings. Last time out against the Blue Jays on September 1st, 6 1/3 inning pitch, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Didn't allow a run until the 7th in Sal Stewart's MLB debut, but Emilio Pagan blew the save. Reds rallied in the bottom of the 9th for 3 runs to win that one 5-4. Hunter Green is 0 for 2 in 4 career starts for the Reds against the Mets, last facing them in April of 2024 when he went 6 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball, struck out 6 in that one. Over his last 3 outings against the Mets, he's gone 17 innings, given up 13 hits, 6 earned runs, 16 strikeouts, good for a 3.17 ERA. Active Met hitters against him, Brandon Nimmo 5 for 9 with a home run. That's kind of a common theme you're going to hear here. 4 RBIs and 2 strikeouts. Jeff McNeil 4 for 10 with a double. Brett Beatty 2 for 5. Pete Alonso 2 for 9, but he's got 2 home runs, 4 RBI, 3 walks, 2 Ks. Cedric Mullins 1 for 6, his 1 hit, a home run. Francisco Lindor 1 for 9, his 1 hit, a home run. But Starling Marte, Francisco Alvarez, Ronnie Mauricio, and Mark Vientos all a combined 0 for 17 against Hunter Green. On the other side, the Mets will turn to Brandon Sproat, the Mets number 5 overall prospect, making his MLB debut on Sunday. The 2025 his 2025 MILB record, all with AAA Syracuse, 25 starts, 8-6 on the year with a 4.24 ERA. Second round draft pick to the Mets in 2023 out of the University of Florida. It was actually the 3rd time he was drafted into the MLB. In 2019, he was a 7th round pick out of high school by the Texas Rangers, but decided to go to college instead. In 2022, the Mets drafted him in the 3rd round, but they couldn't come to an agreement on a contract. And then he agreed to allow the Mets to draft him again in 2023. I don't know if you knew that or not, but if you draft a guy 1 year and want to draft him again, you have to get their permission to do so. Got his permission, and he was a 2nd round pick in 2023. Sproat really flew through the Mets system in 2024, starting in high A Brooklyn and making his way all the way up to AAA Syracuse in 2024. Posted a 3.40 ERA with 131 strikeouts in just 116 innings along the way. Over Sproat's last 11 starts in Syracuse, he's posted 70 strikeouts and a .93 whip. That's in 59 innings with a 2.44 ERA and a 163 average against. His last outing was on August 30th. He pitched 7 innings with 9 strikeouts of scoreless baseball, scattering just 3 hits across the outing. He throws 6 pitches, a fastball that comes in at 95 to 98, a sinker that runs around the same. Changeups are 86 to 89, sweeper 84 to 86, slider 88 to 90, and then a curveball he'll drop in there right around 80 miles per hour. Minor league hitters hit 380 off of his fastball, but he recently made some adjustments to the pitch, which has increased his whiff rate on the pitch to over 30%. Gets a 40% chase rate on his changeup thanks to up to 16 inches of arm side movement and 30 inches of drop. Righties don't have a single hit against his changeup in the last 11 games. So that'll be tomorrow, Sunday, and we hope that you will have multiple screens going, because not only are the Reds and Mets playing at 1:40, but the Bengals season kicks off tomorrow at 1 p.m. as well. They are in Cleveland facing the Browns in week 1. For those of you that haven't heard yet, Chatterbox Bengals is back, and it's got a brand new format. We'll be joining you half an hour before kickoff for a live pregame show, and then Reed Mouse will be taking you through the live action with play-by-play and reaction. I'll join him at halftime for a little recap of the first half, and then Mike Hart and I will take you through the post-game show to break down all of the Cincinnati Bengals action against the Browns on Sunday. And of course, Nick and Trace will be back for Chatterbox Reds Sunday night at 9 p.m., hopefully recapping a Cincinnati series win over the Mets. Corey, any final thoughts before we let these fine people go?
No, thanks as always for joining us, and let's try to get another win tomorrow, get a series win, and on to San Diego.
Go Reds and Hoo Day.